All right. Good evening, everyone. How's everyone doing? This is Al and Rani,
Hello.
and just want to thank you guys for taking time out of your busy schedule to be with us this evening. How you doing, Miss Long? How are you? You muted out. Nobody can hear you. Oh, I see we got Mr. Leon here, Vivian, and Miss Jonette. Renata, thank you for joining us, and Mr. Horace McBurth. And Horace, I did send your person that information bright and early this morning that you requested me to send, okay?
Thank you, sir.
All right, you're welcome anytime. I just want to start off by saying, guys, this is Thanksgiving week. And I know a lot of you are going to have Thanksgiving on your mind and family on your mind. So we're giving everybody a break this week. Tuesday, since we had an invite to Carnegie Hall on Tuesday night. So I said, well, it's so close to Thanksgiving. Let's just let everybody get a break away from us. I know you guys could probably say, well, hey, is Al going to ever give us a break?
And they could be traveling too.
Yeah, and some of you may be traveling to visit family and what have you. So Tuesday night, we will not have an overview. Thursday is Thanksgiving, of course. And Rani has waited her entire life to attend this Macy's Day Thanksgiving parade.
65 years I waited. Look at that background. How nice.
So I don't know who did that or how that happened. But every Thanksgiving, one thing for certain, Rani is going to be glued at that TV in front of the Macy's Day Parade. Has never missed a year. Every single year, that's her ritual, watching that Thanksgiving Day Parade. So we're so happy to be in New York for Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So we're really, really excited about that. And then we're going to come back. Of course, we're not doing anything here at the office on Saturday. And we're leaving in a few days after. We're leaving.
Sunday, we won't have a call either. This
Sunday, we won't have a call either.
So off.
We're returning to California on
the following Wednesday.
On Wednesday.
The 29th.
Next Wednesday. So that is the schedule. Get the word out to everyone, because there's always going to be someone who jump on here and say, oh, what happened? Oh, they don't have the call no more. No, it's not the case. It's just that we're planning and thinking ahead. And this is what the schedule is. And then, of course, the following weekend is
actually the same Friday. We come home on Wednesday. Then on Friday, the 1st, we head towards Las Vegas for the convention. So then, 2 days to ourselves. Yeah. Actually, Wednesday evening, Thursday, and Friday, we start driving over to Las Vegas.
So to be honest, this has been the fastest 3 weeks of our lives.
4 weeks.
Then being here in New York, well, it's been 3 weeks right now.
Oh, yes.
And it just went by so fast. And, and every day is just something exciting happening here. And so, I really, really enjoyed both stays here in New York City, you know, it kind of grows on you after a while. And so now we're already planning when it's going to be our next trip coming back. And so that's still in the planning stages. So, you know, once we have some final dates, we'll get it out there. But we are planning on coming back. And I think February is an off season. So maybe we'll come back and create a little bit of excitement and action in New York in February. And besides, it's my birthday month too. So it'd be a perfect time to come back.
And March is mine. Perfect time to stay longer.
And Christmas holidays, we don't know where we go wound up being. So that's still in the planning stages also. You know, last year we spent Christmas and New Year's in London, and also had an opportunity to visit with Rani's family in the UK over the holidays. So we're thinking we got a couple options on the table, you know, but we're just in discussion stage. At first, I was going to surprise Rani, but then I know how she don't like surprises. So I said, well, I better not surprise her. I better tell her what I'm doing. So at least she have a smile on her face the whole time we're away, instead of me having to get it every day from her while we're away. So anyway, that's.
I hope they understood you, what you're trying to say.
But let me talk one thing about holidays. You know, last year when we left and went to the UK, it was sort of a short notice. We decided last minute. First, we say, well, I said, I'm gonna go to Seattle. I'll visit the kids and grandkids, you know, for a bit, and then we'll go have some quiet time alone in Vancouver, Canada. That was the original plan. Then last minute, we decided to go, well, let's go to the UK. So we decided to go to the UK. So now the choice is that I said, well, either we're going to go to Australia or we would go to Malaysia. And it's kind of a story behind that, and I ain't going to say it on this call, but I've been talking about going to Malaysia for many, many years. Many of you know that's where Rani is originally from. But since she left, a lot of her family lives between Singapore, Australia, and the UK, and she still has some family in Malaysia. So anyway, at first I was almost at the point where I was going to surprise her with the ticket to Malaysia. And I've been promising her aunt for a number of years that I was going to come to Australia. And so I've been talking about that for a long time. Matter of fact, we had planned on going before the pandemic. And then that threw, you know, kind of a monkey wrench into our plans, and we wound up not going. And so, you know, sometimes, you know, as you get different family members getting older, you kind of think and say, man, I promised I was going to do this, and I need to get it done. I need to go to Australia. I need to go to Malaysia. I need to go a lot of places, and I can't keep putting it off. So I woke up this morning and I tell Rani, I said, you know what? Let's go to Malaysia. And then we've talked about for 3-4 weeks, leaving around mid-December and coming back on about mid-January. So that's what the original plan was. And then I said, we'll come back to California, be in California for a month. Then we'll come back to New York for 3 months. I don't know. It sounds like a plan to me, you know, but I would say, let me say this, Sleep M has given us that flexibility to just about be anywhere we want to be, anywhere in the world. And the reason I'm saying that because I don't have to be in California to work my sleep in business. Contrary to belief, all my California folks say, well, hey, Al, where are you? And I was all the way in the UK and didn't nobody know we was gone. Didn't nobody know we was gone until we came back and we were telling our story. That's when everybody knew we was gone.
We were able to do the work too, with the team.
But that's the key because we never skip the beat. The phone calls come in.
Through WhatsApp.
I just got T-Mobile to add an international plan to my calls.
Oh, WhatsApp.
And now my calls came through as usual. And I'm able to talk to everybody. I'm taking orders. I find a quiet place somewhere. If I got a call, I find a quiet place, take the order, get it in, and going about my business. But no one really knew we was gone. And that's the beauty of this. And that's what I was telling Rani this morning. I was, Rani, guess what? Nobody really gonna know you're gone unless you tell them. Because we still answer our phone. But this is the flexibility we have because guess what? I still maintain my household in California, but all I need is a suitcase and go about my business anywhere in the world I want to go. And it's the most exciting feeling in the world to know that you have the option to get on an airplane and go anywhere in the world you want to go and not have to worry about when am I coming back? When am I coming back? It really doesn't matter. We don't have no young children at home. We don't have no young children at home. So we can pick up and go and do whatever we want to do whenever we want to do it. And if I can make money while I'm on the go, why not take a phone call, right? That means I can stay even longer. Long as I'm cash flowing, right? I can stay as long as I want to stay. That's the beauty of what we have, ladies and gentlemen. And I always say financial freedom. I have been saying this for a long, long time. Financial freedom to me means being able to get on an airplane, go to an airport, select a destination, and go for as long as I want to go. And as long as I don't have to stay at the Motel 6, even though they leave the light on at night, I still don't want to stay at the Motel 6. I want to stay at the finer places. That's where I want to stay. And that's what we plan on doing, as we go different places, I said, well, wow, I love the freedom, being totally, totally free. I don't have, matter of fact, Rani and I don't have any family in California. We're just there. Somehow my military career ended me up in California. That was my last assignment. I worked as a recruiter in downtown Los Angeles. And I worked there for 5 years and I retired. I decided, well, my 20 years is up. I don't want to work for half pay. Anything over 20 is half pay. So I said, well, let me move on. I don't know what I'm doing yet, but let me go find something else to do. And that's how I wound up in California. And besides, the weather was very similar to what we were already used to, because I lived in California for 9 years. I believe Rani was there for like 11 years. So we both had lived in Hawaii, not California, Hawaii for a very, very long time. And I think I had wore out my welcome with the military, and they was about to ship me someplace I didn't want to go. So I volunteered to become a recruiter. And that's where I found out where my true hidden talents were. That's where my talents were, in recruiting people. Oh my, that's when I kind of discovered, who am I? Sometimes we kind of go aimlessly and we try to wonder, what am I really meant to do? Because I didn't really know what I was meant to do. All I know is that, well, the military, 20 years, I mean, I was having so much fun. 20 years snuck up on me so quickly. I wake up one day and I'm like, oh my God, I've been here 15 years already. And because I started at a young age, I started at 17, finished up all my courses so that I could graduate. My mama signed for me so fast for me to leave because I was number 5 of 8 children. So when I came along, my mama had already gotten tired. And so we were trouble. We were trouble back then. And so we kind of got away with things that the older ones were not able to get away with. And so when it came time to go, my mama was like, well, I gotta let him go. But when I took that ride to the airport and got on that plane, that was the furthest away from home I'd ever been. The furthest away. How many of you can remember that feeling that, hey, if I take this trip, it's going to be the furthest away I ever ventured from home. And that was it was kind of an uneasy feeling for me because I always been close to home. And so when I left that day, I didn't know what to expect. I'm saying, man, this is the furthest I ever ventured away. And Rani's story goes something similar to that too. I mean, sometimes she tell me her story leaving home for the very first time, flying to Hawaii as a student. That was the furthest she had ever been away from home also.
All alone by myself, first time on a plane.
So,
I was 18 years old.
So when we think about this, we have a lot more in common than we thought we didn't have. We have a lot in common, even though we came from diverse backgrounds. Her story is almost similar to mine, except I grew up in a tiny, tiny little town. Tiny little town, population 1,960. I know some of you probably saying, well, man, I have more church members at my church than your whole town, Al. That's right, population 1,960. And it continuously decreased over the years as I've been away. Matter of fact, it kept decreasing. I always tell my friends, I said, man, I'm so glad I left because I didn't want to be the last one out of town. Everybody left. There is one street called Love Street. And, some of you may know what a juke joint is. But all the clubs and liquor stores and everything was down that one street. I made a trip back there a few years ago. There was a fire that burned the whole block down. All the liquor stores, the clubs, everything burnt down. And here's how bad it is. Here's how bad it was. No one even bothered to haul off the rubbish. It's still there, some 10 plus years later. Man, it's kind of heartbreaking because I think about all the people who never had an opportunity to venture beyond the borders of that town. I went to a school by the name of Mildred Jackson, elementary and high school. Mildred Jackson was an African-American woman. Ninth grade, what was it? Seventh grade, everyone was migrated into one school. And the school that I went through my early years at was shut down. Shut down. It's like a historic landmark there today. And eventually, the other school wound up shutting down also. The one grocery store that was in that town has now shut down. No retail at all there, gone. The one gas station that was there is now gone, and everybody have to drive 35 miles away if they want to buy grocery, if they want to put gas in their car. That's what I'm talking about, guys. That's was my environment that I grew up in, and people wonder, why was I so anxious to leave? I was anxious to leave because I wanted to do better for myself. I have always been money motivated my entire life because I always wanted to do something extra to help my family. You know, I saw my mom struggle with 8 children, 8 of us, 4 boys, 4 girls, 4 boys, 4 girls. And I remember one Christmas, there was one bike for 4 boys, 4 boys. And I was a tiny little guy back then. I didn't have much muscle and strength to fight for that bike. And I remember crying there all day long because my 2 older brothers wouldn't let me ride the bike. Oh, man. That'll give you motivation to want to get up and do something, won't it? It'll give you motivation, guys. See, when everybody got to go, when I saw my friends go and play in the school band, I didn't have that opportunity. When I saw my friends playing sports, I didn't have that opportunity. Because what would happen is that when we finished school, my mom would be sitting in front of the school with the station wagon, and she would pick us up. And my sisters, my brothers, we'd have to go work in the fields until after dark. Then have to go home and do homework and everything else that a student had to do. That's what I'm talking about. That will give you motivation to get off your behind and go do something. Trust me, it will. So I didn't want to, if that was an ordinary life, I didn't want to live that ordinary life. Wanted to do something different. I'm saying, man, it's got to be something better out there. You know what it's like? For a lot of you folks who grew up in the city, you know what it's like to chop cotton and pick cotton for $3 a day in my lifetime? I'm only 65 years old. I pick cotton and chop cotton and work for $3 a day. And you know what I always say? Don't feel sorry for me, because there was grown folks out there right beside me. We worked hard, guys, real hard. So everything I've done since I joined the military, since I left the military, everything that I have done in my life since I left home has been a piece of cake compared to what I did growing up. You see what I'm saying? So, and I don't like to use the E word, but I'm telling you, my life has been so much simpler and so much more prosperous since I left home than ever before. And the whole time I was in the military, I was never satisfied with my paycheck. I ran different businesses my entire Air Force career. My entire career, I ran different businesses, and I was very successful. Matter of fact, my first 4 years in the military, everybody used to call me Easy Money. I bought my first house when I was 21 years old. I bought my second house. I was 24, 23 years old when I bought my second home in Hawaii. I bought a home for $118,000 back then. You know, that was a whole lot of money for me as an E3 in the military. Everybody thought I was doing something that wasn't quite right because I always could make the money. I wasn't the type of guy who get off from work and go drink with the boss after work. I worked hard. By the time I left the military, I used up every educational benefit that the military would pay me. I have a master's degree. I have bachelor's degrees. I have a couple of associate degrees because the biggest lie that was ever told, when you ask most military men and women, what are you going to do beyond the military? You know what I always heard? Oh, I'm going to go to school. Biggest lie ever been told. Because if you can go to school for free, and in my case, my boss let me off from work to go to school. So I could take off during the day, during my duty hours, and go to school. And if I wouldn't do that, am I going to get out and then go to school? The way I looked at it, when I left the military, it was time for me to make some money. I had been a public servant my whole adult life. I wanted to make money. And I don't know about you guys, but that was like my aha moment. Because at my 19-year point, I was getting antsy. I said, man, I got to go make money. I can't sit here. Here I am at the peak of my military career. And I was only earning about $2,700 per month.
That's 1 year before
Wow.
retirement.
1 year before retirement. Wow. And I remember telling Rani, that day I made that infamous drive down Mulholland Drive. And I'm telling Rani, I'm sitting in front of this big, beautiful house. And I'm talking about the cars that's going to be in my garage. I'm talking about the swimming pools and the waterfalls. I'm talking about what kind of staff I needed to maintain the place. And I remember her waking me up that day. And she said, but Al, you're only making $2,700 a month. Ouch, that hurts. I was saying, man, I got to do something different. I can't just sit back and accept what's happening to me. $2,700 a month, 19 years later. Man, that was an aha moment for me. And I knew that in order to change my family's outlook, I had to do something different. And one or two things was going to happen. Either I was going to change the situation I was in, or I was going to die trying. No ifs and buts about it. And I still got that spark in me that I had all those years ago. I still got that spark. I want to do something. I want to do more than just what I'm doing now. I want to do more. See, sometimes it's not just about the money. For me, it's not just about the money. I know I can make money. I made money ever since I left the military. So what really drives Al and Rani Powell? I want to see how many of you I can take with us. It ain't just about the money for us. And I joke about this all the time, Leon. I can make $500,000 a year from my living room. No ifs and buts about it. I can guarantee you that. I ain't got to leave my living room and I can make $500,000 a year. I know how to get down. I know how to grind. I know how to make the money. Here with Sleep M, oh my God. I look at the things that I've done to make money over the years. Now, don't get me wrong, everything that I've done to make money has always been morally and ethically correct. It's called some things I won't do just for the sake of money. But I know in this line of business, it's about how many people you can help along with you. If I help you, I help myself. If I help you win, I win also. I win also. But it's not just about Al and Rani trying to get paid. And I done heard people say that, oh, they making this much off me and blah, blah, blah. And it just bugs the heck out of me. And I hear people say, well, how much you gonna get paid off me? Come on. Focus on what's in it for you. Focus on what's in it for you. It's not about what's in it for Al and Rani. What's in it for you? I'm laughing about this. Somebody the other day complaining about $20 on a referral they got. Hi, it's only $20. Come on. Only $20. You really don't understand how our compensation works. Much more than about a one-time payment that you get paid on a new recruit. It's much bigger than that. One person can set you free financially in this business. All it takes is one good, motivated person. And you never know who it's going to be. Just never, ever know. I want to inspire you guys to do more in your business. Don't do it out of desperation. Do it because you're inspired to do it, not just out of desperation. Don't do it that way. I am here for the willing. You got to want it as bad as I want it for you. You got to want it bad enough. That's what it's about. When I look at these calls, I'm not concerned about how many people on this call. I listen to every single recording that Rani and I send out there to you guys. So what does that tell you, Stacy? I need this as bad as you need it. I do it for me also. Rani can tell you how many times I done sat back and I done listened to the call, the recording, and Rani is looking at me like, why are you listening? I'm listening to it because I need to know what I'm putting out there to the team. And it's not just for the team, it's for me also. It's for me also. I am ready to take this business to a whole different level coming in the new year. I don't want to leave anyone behind. Really, I don't. And I'll give everybody an opportunity to grow with us. But I can't wait. I can't wait. I'm going all out. I'm on a timeline. I don't have 10 years to put this together. I don't have 10 years. I want to go out there and do something major in our business in the next 3 to 5 years. And I want all of us to be able to look back and say, I remember when Al made that promise that night. It was a Sunday night. Him and Rani was in New York City, and he was talking about all these big things he was going to do and Sleep In. I'm here until the wheels fall off this, if it falls off. I'm here, all in, all in. A lot of people, you know how many people done came at me in the past 90 days? Hey, Al, what about multiple streams of income? I got tons of multiple streams of income. They ain't network marketed type of streams of income. But I'm not going to go serve 5 different masters. I'm not. I have to keep my laser beam focus. And until you have liftoff, Vivian, how can we even think about doing something else until you get liftoff here? You gotta focus. It doesn't take a long time, but we need focus coming out the gate. We have to have a certain level of commitment, dedication, focus. You gotta be all in if you ever want to get your business going. I can tell you about some people who killed off their team because they brought a dozen different programs to them in the past 90 days, 180 days. They brought a dozen different programs to their downline. My sponsor did the same thing to me. Constantly, every time I turn around, she got a new deal for me. New deal of the week. Hey, Al, you and Rani be real good at this. No, I won't, because I ain't gonna do nothing. Oh, I'm gonna put you in and get you an idea. No, I'm not gonna be good at it because I'm not gonna do anything. I'm telling you, I'm not gonna do anything. Why would you put me in a business? You tell me. If it's something I wanted to do, I'd use my own money. Right, David? I use my own money. I am so excited about what 2024 is going to bring to all of us. So excited. I can hardly wait for this convention, and I'm going to be the biggest cheerleader in that room. I can hardly wait. I am fired up and I'm ready because I know what these conventions, I never can get enough of it. I've been going to conventions for the past 30 plus years. I've been attending conventions. Even when I couldn't afford to go, I would go. And it changed my life years ago, attending my first event. I never forget. First event that I went to that really made a difference in my life because it was a full-time business for me. I was just getting started. And it was so packed, the place, Reunion Arena, I never forget, in Dallas, Texas. I was in the nosebleed section. I was in a sub room. I didn't even get in the main arena. That's how big this thing was. I'm in a smaller room off from the main convention. I want you to imagine being in a convention like that. And I got so fired up. It was nothing I wouldn't do for that company. Nothing I wouldn't do. And I remember it wasn't just the information I got in the hallway. I mean, in the room of that Reunion Arena, but it's the information I also got at the hotel room, just on a sidebar, talking with different leaders and hearing different tips on what I should be doing. That's what really stood out for me. And then I remember everybody was selling everything. I mean, I'm talking about different people when you go to these conventions, at this one anyway, at different people, you know, they gave the impression that they were doing really well. And I remember there was a guy out of Atlanta, Georgia. Everybody was going to his workshop to figure out what he was doing to make the money. Matter of fact, I was that close to paying my money and going to Atlanta to figure out what this guy was doing. Then the company came out with a magazine with the top 300 money earners. And in that magazine, I'll never forget, we were numbered like 130 The guy that I'm going to see didn't even make the top 300 money earner. Now, I'm making more money than this guy, and I'm telling myself, what am I doing going to listen to somebody who ain't even making the amount of money that I'm making? Maybe he need to come sit in my meeting. You understand what I'm saying? So when you go to these events, you're going to find out who the real deal is. You're going to find out exactly what this is all about. I want to encourage all of you, try to get registered, try to attend the event. It's not just another one of those old meetings. No, it's not. But it's a life-changing event that will potentially put you on a trajectory whereby you're going to get to the big, big money. I always say, it could potentially put you on that path where your paycheck would go where it has never gone before. And that's what happened to me by attending conventions over the years. Because one thing I always say, there's more than one way to do the business. My way is not the only way. It's always good to hear it from a different perspective. And then tailor it to your personality. Tailor it to your personality. Because what works for Al and Rani, I don't know, you may find that it may not work for you. But I can tell you right now, there's no secrets. And the biggest secret there is, there is no secret. See, a lot of people will show up at a convention like this looking for the secret. And there is no secret. There's no shortcuts, just hard work. No shortcuts at all. And I want to encourage all of you, if you do the work, the program works. It works if you work. If you don't work, the program doesn't work. Simple as that. I done heard so many people tell me, I've been here 2.5 years, and I heard so many people, but there's no residual income in there. But to get people to keep going, listen, don't believe all the hype. 2.5 years later, we ain't talking about going nowhere. We're still here, and we're here for the long haul. And Kirk, I'm just curious what will happen if I work this at the same pace for the next 2.5 years. That'll put me at the 5-year mark. What will happen if we work at the same pace we worked for the past 2.5 years? And I want you guys to ask yourselves then, what if I work really hard for the next 2.5 years, like Al and Rani have? What's in store for me? See, one thing I know for certain, Vivian, looking at us, you're looking at your future, providing you don't quit. Providing you don't quit. Looking at us, you're looking at your future. Just don't quit. Don't quit. And I say this over and over, and that is, you are the most influential person on your team. It's you. And if you don't have a team yet, go get one other person, and now you got a team. 2 or more, meaning that you're a team. And I tell you what, your people have to view you as their leader. They have to view you as their leader, not Al and Rani, but they need to view you as their leader. Very important. And it doesn't matter where you're living at. I don't care if there's a showroom in your area. A lot of people here in New York ain't never been to this office. A lot of people in California ain't never been to the office. It doesn't matter. What really matters is that you take the lead. What really matters when you take the lead. If you're somewhere where no one else is at, what's wrong with you starting a weekly event? Even if it's you and one other person, you meet up for, maybe a tea or coffee in the evening or a light meal, and you talk, you discuss a game plan on what your vision is on growing that area. And then the next thing you know, you got 3, 4 people. Next thing you know, you got 5 people that's attending your little, coffee shop meeting. Next thing you know, you got a dozen people. And the next thing you know, you're looking for a new location. But it's about you taking the lead. If you take the lead, others will follow. Sometimes people just are looking for someone who's going to lead them. That's what it's all about. Every one of you are a leader in your own right. You are a leader. And you got to talk about things that's going to matter in your business every single day. I talk about what I need to do to grow my business every single day with my business partner. I know she probably gets sick of me talking about it all the time too. But, what can I say? I know I always got a team. Rani and I, that's 2 or more, right? So I'm going to always have a team. Even if all y'all quit on me, this one ain't going to quit on me. She ain't gonna quit. Yeah, we gonna go sign one more that starts all over again. But this is what this is all about. Because sometimes you may feel as though you're all alone in this business, Pat. Say, man, where's my team? They promised me they was gonna plug in with me. Where is everybody? Why is nobody one to follow? Why? I can't get nobody to sign up. Consistency. Consistency. How long does it take to create a habit? Normally about 3 months. It takes about 3 months normally to create a habit. What if we start some good habits in our business? Good habit. Well, I remember when I started my morning call. It's been over 2 years. Every morning I get up and I do a morning call. I don't care whether it's that one person who listened to that call. And if it makes a difference in their business, that call has served its purpose. So I created that habit of getting up and saying, doing something in my business. Every single day, I'm going to do something in my business, even if it's that 2 to 3 minute call. Are you guys feeling me? I started a Zoom meeting. It's been over 2.5 years. And what I did, I said, well, okay. I started that Zoom meeting on a Tuesday, 1 week after I joined the program. 1 week. Nobody was doing an English presentation at the time, so I decided, hey, let me do the presentation. I didn't even know what I was doing at the time. But I speak with confidence, and the people who get on there, I pretend that I knew more than them. Are you feeling me? I just act like I know more than the people who are getting on. And I just talk. And some of the very people who started the next week after me, they act like I've been in the business for years. They calling me with questions of them. I said, hey, I only started 2 days before you. I don't know no more than you do. But, that's the way it is, and so talking about taking the lead, talk about creating good habits in your business, consistently consistent with what you're doing. I make call after call after call. Some of you may not be able to handle the truth. If I told you what I did on a day-to-day basis, some of you probably couldn't handle it. So, oh no, Al, that's too hard. You want me to do what? See, I know what it's like to make X number of calls every single day. In my recruiting business in the military, my boss could tap into my computer and my boss could read the description on what I had to write something on each call I made. I had to say what took place in the call. Not only did I have to say what took place in the call, I had to make minimum 20 calls every single day. I had to have 5 appointments every single day. And if the calls and the appointments just didn't align, I needed to increase the number of calls that I was making. And they had a formula, a mathematical formula that figured all this out. If I didn't do that, I potentially lose my job. It was one of the few jobs in the military where you could actually get fired. Saying it nicely, I could actually get fired if I didn't meet my numbers and meet my quotas. So I called and I called. I even bribed the teachers. When I say bribe, what I mean, you'll be amazed what a container of coffee and some donuts would do in the morning at the teacher's lounge. You'll be amazed because nobody else would do what Sergeant Powell was willing to do. I show up with donuts, I show up with coffee, and I was the best friends of the counselor. I'm telling you guys, so whenever somebody was wondering what they were going to do beyond high school and didn't know if they wanted to go to college or what, who did they call? They called me. They called Sergeant Powell. And I'm that guy who put them in boots and promised them vacations to faraway places. That's what I'm talking about. I came over to direct sales and network marketing with that same attitude. I know I got to make so many calls per day. I know I got to have so many appointments. If not, guess what? I'm not going to make any money. And nobody's going to pay me for my effort. They're only going to pay me for my results. None of us here can get paid for our effort. We're only going to get paid for our results. So I want you guys to be successful. I don't want you to be just marginal. I want you to be extremely successful. And I want to be able to look back and say, you know what? I made it. Al was right. That if I was consistent, if I did those basic elementary things in my business every single day, I would be successful. Now it's not the money issue that I'm concerned about. I'm more concerned about the team issues. I'm more concerned about my team. What about my team? TEAM. Together each achieves more. I'm more concerned about all of you instead of our bank account. Because if I help you get what you want, I'll get what I want also. No other way to look at it. I am so excited to be in business with all of you. But you made that commitment. I'm under an assumption that you're here because you want to win at it. And you want to win at it in a big, big way. You're not here just to say, hey, I was in Sleep M. You know how it is, sometimes people come along, somebody try to recruit you at a later date, and you were here before them, and you lost interest along the way, and then you come back and say, oh, girl, I was in Sleep M before. And then they come back and they say, but what happened? What happened? And then you're speechless because this person's excited. And this is someone in your circle of influence who you could have potentially gotten in your business had you stayed consistent and kept that same level of excitement. You got to follow through, guys. Follow through on what you start. I apply this in every aspect of my life because I know what it's like to start, stop, start, stop. And I don't want to be like that. Am I talking too much tonight, guys? I'm giving you guys a life lesson for free. The book coming out next, guys, and you have to pay for that. At least you guys are getting it for free on this Sunday night call. Okay. Let me turn it over to Rani. I think I done burn up all the time. Well, she got 5 minutes.
Thank you, Ed.
Whoa.
So guys, November 20th will be tomorrow. Isn't that right?
Yes.
And the chance for you all to get a free pad if you all attend the convention. $2.99 is the ticket. Our convention is December 2nd and 3rd, Saturday and Sunday of next month, which is just around the corner. So you get a $580 pad when you attend the convention. You're paying the ticket for $2.99. And there'll be incredible things happening there at the convention. A lot of drawings, a lot of freebies that you'll be able to receive because your lucky number will be drawn. There's so many prizes that Steve M is giving away. Of course, meeting all the leaders, building the people who just started recently, have outdone other people who have been in the business so much longer, meaning reaching the ranks so fast, in 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, the higher ranks. It's amazing because the products work. People are coming in droves. We have financing. So that has helped a lot to propel the business as well. So now we want to celebrate. It's a 5-year anniversary, our very first one. We haven't done conventions year after year after year. This is the very first one. And I know a lot of things are going on. This year has been very challenging for many, many people. Economy, finances, just personal challenges maybe. And then it's in the month of December. It's a holiday season. Many of you are saving money or have spent money for Thanksgiving. Now the convention is just around the corner. And then there's Christmas, there's New Year. So hopefully you can make some sacrifices. Hopefully you can join us. We really want to know all of you who are attending the convention so that we can meet you. We hear the voice, maybe we see an image, a picture, but that's it. Now we like to rub shoulders with all of you. So hopefully you can make it. It's November 20th. You'll get a free gift. Even if you pass the deadline, you can still come to the convention. So it's at the MGM Grand Hotel, Las Vegas. Rooms are also available for you to book. If you want to stay with family and friends or some other hotel, by all means. But otherwise, the hotel rooms have been put aside for Sleep M, so we can all stay in the same hotel, so that when it's time for you to change your clothes or it's time for you to rest up a bit, you're just going upstairs and then coming back down again. All right? So then lots of events are planned on Sunday as well. Lots of great food, entertainment, lots of awards and certificates that will be sent out. A lot of new products will be introduced. So it's on and on and on. So we're all excited for that. In regards to the residual income, all of you, please minimum purchase the app for $59. That's it. Purchase the app as part of your package. And now anyone that decides to earn income from the residual side, they're going to purchase the app and you will earn. If you don't purchase the app for $59 monthly membership subscription, then others who have purchased it in your organization, you will not make money on that side. If you're not too worried about it, then it's fine. But if you want all the money and not some of the money, then you should purchase the app. All right? So if you need any help with that, I'm here. So with that being said, I think we have taken the whole hour. Thank you again so much. And wish all of you an amazing, amazing, happy Thanksgiving, happy Turkey Day. We will continue to keep in touch through WhatsApp, post pictures, give all of you many accolades. as things are coming about. So don't feel that you're all alone this Thanksgiving holiday. We are with you, right next to you. Okay. So with that being said, I'd like to say good night, and we'll talk to you soon.
The recording is posted already. So I didn't forget this time because we actually recorded it to the cloud. So it makes it very easy for me to transition and get it over to the WhatsApp. But the recording will be up when you go there. And you guys have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Looking forward to seeing all the folks back in California at the convention.
Yeah.
And then back to California. See
Bye.
ya.
Take care.